If you feel completely lost or demotivated in terms of growing your AI agency, I need you to watch this video. And in this video, I'm going to cover exactly what you need to think about in terms of your thought processes and how you can actually combat that demotivation or that feeling of despair. And 1 year ago, I was in Warsaw, Poland, and I wrote this entry to myself, October 8th, 2024 at 1:34 a.m. This is for me to view years down the line. I'm in Warsaw now, but I feel like shit. And I feel like a failure these past couple of weeks that's getting hard to sleep. It keeps me awake at night, and I feel like the world is weighing down on me. I need to make it, but I don't know if I will. I don't know the next steps, and I have to continue because there's no other options. I'm very selfish. I'm healthy, I'm traveling the world, but I feel lost. I don't think I deserve anything that I've gained, and I'm not the person that my future kids should model, nor am I the person that my future partner should respect just yet. Time to lock in. And context about this note that I wrote myself, as you can see on my phone, there's thousands of journal entries that I have, is my business was doing better than ever, but I still feel that feeling of being lost. And the thing is, like, right now, whatever you're feeling, it's going to be normal in business. As I said in other videos, that running a business is going to be a spiritual experience. It's going to challenge your beliefs. It's going to challenge the person that you are. And it's going to challenge you until the day that you get to the person that you want to be. And this is going to be a most transformative experience in your life. There's nothing in life that comes harder than actually running a business and scaling up your team and getting to that dream life. Because all the things that are worthwhile doing in life, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. If it were easy, everybody would do it. So let's jump into my computer and I'll walk you exactly through why you're feeling this way of being lost, just like I was, and how you could combat this. So if we go into my computer, as you can see, this is just for social proof in terms like I've scaled up my AI agency and now my AI software. And even then, I still have nights where I'm being kept up at night and feeling like I haven't achieved what I want in this lifetime. And the main thing that I could share here is it's all about your perspective. So what do I really mean by that, right? Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is the current position that you're in versus the dream outcome that you want to be in is kind of climbing uphill battle, right? The person that you are is currently down here, and the person that you want to be is up here. And every single time, the reason why you feel so distraught, the reason why you actually feel despair is because most of it doesn't have to be about in business, is because you're not the person that you want to be yet, right? There's all this journey that you need to go through in order to become the person that you want to be. And this perspective is going to keep you lost. It's going to keep you in despair because you see how far the finish line actually is from here. And imagine running a marathon, right? The first mile, you feel great. And then let's say you get to mile 10, your legs are cramping. You can't run anymore. You're thirsty, you're hungry, you want to quit. And just looking back at mile 1, it was a very easy uphill battle, right? But all of a sudden, the hill becomes very steep. And looking back at the finish line on mile 10, you're going to feel like the destination is so far away. But in reality, if you look all the way back, how do you actually go from mile 10 to finishing the marathon? You take one step at a time, putting one foot ahead of the other, and that's how you really finish that marathon. And looking back at the finish line, you could see all the journey paths that you went through, all the struggle that you went through. And that's why I say running a business and running entrepreneurship is going to be a spiritual experience because you've seen all the hardships you went through in order to get to that certain point. And even then, after you complete this marathon, a lot of times, just being an entrepreneur, you're going to be ambitious. And what's going to happen is you're going to run more marathons. That uphill is going to seem even more up. You have more goals up here. And that's why I actually felt despair, even though my business was doing best ever in terms of revenue, right? It's just like I kept moving that finish line. And that's completely normal in all sorts of, ambitious people that are online. But in reality, it's just having perspective on your life of what do I need to do at this current moment? Let's disregard the finish line, because the finish line seems so far away that you don't even know how to get there. But the main thing that you should focus on when you're feeling this feeling of despair is your inputs to your business. And the thing is, the whole universe is an act of causation and effect. Something will cause your effect and the dream outcome that you have. And the only thing that you can control in order to control that dream outcome is the amount of inputs you put on a day-by-day basis. So right now, if you're feeling that feeling of despair, you don't have leads to your business, we have to find any way possible to generate leads for our business. And let's say we have the leads and we can't get appointments, we have to find any way possible to generate appointments. And let's say we're hopping on those appointments so we can't close any of the deals on the line. We have to find any way to improve our sales in order to actually close those deals. Whether it's pre-call nurture, whether it's improving your sales assets, whether it's the biggest bang for your buck is probably improving how you objection handle and how you do the prospecting questions in your sales calls. But all of that are inputs that lead to your dream output of getting to that 10K per month in your AI agency or 100K per month in your AI agency. And the output is just an effect of all the inputs you put in. There's no way in chance that if you don't have enough inputs, if you have enough inputs in your business, that you won't get a certain amount of output, right? That output ratio is really dependent of how many inputs. But let's say we're getting 1,000 leads a month, right? There's no way that no matter how bad our sales process is, there's going to be a couple of laydown closes just for you, just because you have 1,000 leads to your business, right? From those 1,000 leads, even if we book 10% of all the leads, or even 1% of all the leads, right? Right. So let's say 10% or 1%. 1% would be 10 sales calls, right? You could probably close 1 out of 10, right? 10% close rate. And even if we book 10%, which in reality, a lot in online business, like you're going to book anywhere from 25 to 50% of all these leads that come in. So that would be around 250 to 500 of these calls, right? There's no way in chance that if you hop on a call with 250 calls, you're not going to close a single deal, right? And it's all dependent on the inputs that we have into our business. And whatever dream output that we have is going to be reliant on how many inputs, right? But I completely understand, like this is more so of a rational way to put about things. But whenever you think about your dream outcome and all the things that you need to do in order to achieve your dream outcome, you're going to be very distressed. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to seem like the goal is so far away that it's not even achievable. And you're going to have demotivation. You're going to feel like you can't ever achieve the goals that you want to achieve, just because all you're viewing it is the output of what you want to achieve and the result of what you want to achieve. But my main goal for this video is, instead of looking at the output, take a look at what your inputs actually have to be in order to achieve the output. If we're not getting enough leads to our business, there's no way in hell that we can achieve the output or the result that we deserve. And the universe is not going to reward undeserving people. They're not going to see you not doing any inputs, not having any leads, not practicing your sales pitch, not practicing objection handle, not calling up leads. They're not going to see that and be like, hey, this guy deserves 10K per month. This guy deserves 100K per month. They're going to see how much work you actually put in on a day-by-day basis in order to generate leads, sales calls, and actually close those sales calls. And that's how you're going to hit your monetary goals, right? If it's more so on a personal level, right, you want to provide for your family, you want to provide for your kids, the universe will see how much input are you actually doing on a day-by-day basis. And That's the only thing you should focus on when you feel lost or scaling up your AI agency, because those feelings are always going to occur in business, right? You're always going to have a feeling of I'm not going to make it, right? That's just normal. But as you go through more and more of that, and in business, I've probably gone through a lot of it, you become more stoic and you're going to understand that this feeling is normal. But what's more important is like, hey, I have this feeling of me not achieving my goals, but what are the inputs that I need to do in order to achieve those goals? And everybody online says sales is a volume game, sales is a numbers game. And if you talk to enough people, talk to enough local businesses, local contractors, you're going to achieve whatever you want to achieve in this life, right? Whether it's 10K per month, whether it's 100K per month, but just visualizing those goals isn't really going to do anything for you. And I think a lot of people, they said, hey, you need to visualize, you need to think about it on a day-by-day basis. But thinking about that on a day-by-day basis is going to keep you stuck. And what you really need to do is you need to think about the amount of inputs that you have on a day-by-day basis. And am I achieving those inputs consistently every single day in order to hit my goals? If not, we need to up the volume in terms of the inputs. One other thing I want to say about this video is the speed that you actually accomplish things and make decisions is going to determine your success in business, in life, in general. Because for the person that, let's say for me as an example, I was an engineer, so electrical engineer. I studied that in university, and also computer engineering. And we're very analytical, right? There's all the math that we had to take, like calculus, we had to take vector math, all that stuff, all the physics. We become very analytical. But the person that just gets started, they don't analyze as much, right? They're going to have way more repetitions of making, let's say, a bad mistake, and they're going to learn from that, right? Let's say they get set back a little bit, and then they keep going, and they get set back a little bit, and they keep going. Hey, this is not the right path. Get set back a little bit, and they keep going, set back a little bit, keep going, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 moments where they got set back, but they kept going. Versus the person that's going to just overanalyze, that's at the start line, right? They keep walking back and forth, not moving anywhere in business. And then until one day, maybe 6 months, 1 year down the line. And I personally coach a lot of one-on-one clients. And this is the thing that I've seen consistent between the people that win and the people that don't. The people that win are taking action immediately with my guidance and my expertise of all the roadblocks I hit. But then there's always going to be bottlenecks. As soon as they get a bottleneck, right, we revisit it, and then we break through that bottleneck, go into the next bottleneck. And that's always in business, right? No matter if you're making billions of dollars a year or running a Fortune 100 company, you're going to hit bottlenecks in your business. Versus a person that's overanalyzing, right? They don't even get started. They analyze all the possible outcomes that will ever come, and then they do a full analysis on everything. Then until one day they finally get started, maybe 6 months down the line, right? Or 5 years down the line. And then they find themselves hitting the same roadblock the first person hit right here. And then to take a setback, and most people, they just give up, right? They just fall off the map. But in that same time, this person that started, within this 1 month, he already hit the first roadblock. This person, within that 1 year, hit the first roadblock, right? So this person already went through all the repetitions, actually hit the scale that they want to do in business, versus this person that's actually currently stuck at the first roadblock. And they might have given up. They continue onwards, analysis paralysis, because they hit that first roadblock, go back and forth, only to hit the second roadblock maybe 2 years down the line. Versus this person that's already achieved everything they want in this lifetime, right? And that's really all I have for this video. Whenever you feel in distress, whenever you feel demotivated or lost or in despair, the first thing they should ever focus on is not necessarily your goals. Having goals is important in business, but it's more so on the inputs that achieve your goals, because that's what causes the output to happen. And if you don't have enough inputs, you need to reevaluate and say and move with speed on how fast can I achieve these inputs, or else the output will never come. So that's all I have for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll have more videos like this coming up, and I'll catch you in the next video.